Okay, guys, welcome to Generation Connection, a podcast produced by 4O Production Studio, episode 2 of Generation Connection. And in this episode, we're going to be asking some question, and the question is right there: Am I ready to date? You know. I'm your host, Sumo. I'm your host, Sumo Q Dennis, and this is my second episode, and so you can check me out on you can check me out on YouTube. You can check me on YouTube at 4O Production, Instagram Omar Olivia, and Facebook Sumo Q Queen by Dennis. So we'll get back to it today. So today we're gonna have episode 2. I already did episode 1, so episode 2. Am I ready to date? That's the question. Well, this question here, people often ask ask this question. Like some people don't. Just few people often ask this question: Am I ready to date? But I know there's a lot of people feel this way, but always don't ask the question honestly. You ask this question: Am I ready to date? But you never ask the honest question. So the honest question for this question here is, I came up with two different questions that you need to ask. Not am I ready to date? The question one, do I want to date? That's the first question you ask. Do I want to date? The second question is someone interested in me? You know, so those are the two questions for anybody that ready to jump into a relationship and all that stuff. Those are the two questions, you know. But truly, am I ready? Let's talk about this. So today I break this episode into seven different segments. Segment one we're going to talk about is segment one here is why this question matters. Why does it matter? If whatever. You know, I say it do matter because sometimes people don't understand dating and stuff like that. Well, I've been dating. I've been with my wife for like pretty long time now, so I understand some little things. So the question is, why does this question matter? Dating is not just about attraction. You got to remember that it's not just about attraction. Yeah, attraction played a part into dating, but it's not just about attraction. Oh, because she's hot. Oh, because she's this way. She got this. She got that. So I want to date her. You know and a lot of time it's happening nowadays. That's why you see a lot of single people and a lot of single mom and a lot of men being on child support because they base dating on attraction, first impression. That's what it is. It's not just about chemistry neither. You gotta understand. Oh, we got a little chemistry, so we good. Whatever it is. It's not just about chemistry. It's about capacity. People are like, man, you old school. What do you mean by capacity? So I draw a couple of things down to explain what I'm trying to tell you guys about capacity. One, love well, capacity to love well. You got to be able to love well, no condition, you know. You got to love the female, no condition. The female got to love you, no condition, you know. She can go through fire with everything with you and everything. Communicate honestly. You got to be honest with them. You got to be honest. Like, some people, like, you dating somebody and you realize you see somebody even hotter, somebody is hotter than the one that you're dating. Now you want to push up on this other one, and then when they ask question, hey, you man, are you got a girl or whatever? Nah, I'm good. you know then that's where the problem is. Some people be embarrassed of the person, but you pick this person who attracted to you for before, but later on you feel they're not attracted to you no more, so you don't communicate with them. You lie. Oh, I'm going to right here, I'm going to the store, but you go hang out with something. When they call you, hey, I'm holding homies. Now, if they cannot accept you, communicate, want to be honest, then they don't need to be with you. So you got to be honest with them, so you don't feel no guilt. You know what I'm saying? The second one, heal from your past. What that mean? What I mean by heal from the past? Talking about people that actually dated before. This is not people that are trying to jump into a new relationship. This is for people that actually dated before, married or be in a relationship. You got to heal from your past. You got to be able. You have the capacity to heal from your past before you bring that into your new relationship. So you got to be able to heal from your past before you bring that into a new relationship. Take responsibility. That's one of the big ones. You got to be able to take responsibility for the person that you're dating. Responsibility for that person you're dating. You don't just, oh, yeah, whatever, and then the responsibility show up, you take off because you don't want to take a responsibility. Protect your heart and someone else's. Don't hurt that person's feeling, and your feeling won't get hurt. You gotta protect your heart. Well, I mean your heart, not your regular, your people that you love. You gotta protect them. You gotta protect them. They are your heart now because you're in a relationship. You like this person, you love this person. So that's the person you're in a relationship with. You know. Now we look at I know on my first episode I will put scriptures and stuff like that on there, whatever it is. So we're gonna jump into this we're gonna put the Bible reminder in Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flow from it. So you see, like you see the shield, and you see hate, you see fear, and you see anger, and you see the female behind it. So now, as a man, that's your heart right there. You're protecting her. You put your shield right there. You're protecting her. So you got to protect her. If your heart is wounded, rust, or restless, dating can become distraction instead of blessing. So if she's hurt, if she, wounded or whatever, that's not blessing. That's distraction. She's hurt. She complain all the time. She this one, whatever. She feel bad all the time. That's distract. That's not dating. So you hurting this person. You're not dating this person. You're hurting her. So I would jump. I'll go into segment two. So you look at segment two. Is it also flow from the first one? It said, are you seeking a person or a fix? A lot of time, a lot of people seek a fix, not a person. One of the most important questions to ask yourself is this: am I looking for a person or am I looking for a solution? So think about it. Are you seeking a person or a fix? Are you looking for you know, are you looking for a person or are you looking for a solution? They say, what do you mean by person or solution? Are you looking for that person? Are you going for that person? Are you going to be able to take care of that person? Or are you replacing that person, fixing your wounded heart from your past relationship? Or are you, looking for a solution like, oh, my homie think, oh, I don't have thing with girl, I don't have the game, whatever, so I'm gonna find whatever it is so I can prove to them that I'm not what they think I am. I can get a girl. You get what I'm saying? A lot of time we do that. As a man, we do that. And sometimes female also do that thing too. Sometimes we date to feel loneliness. If you're lonely, you need somebody companion. You're still not in love with a person, but you just need somebody to be there when you need him to talk to or whatever the situation. You're not in love with that person because you're lonely. Escape pain from the past. You know, prove our worth to our friends, our family, or whatever. We got to prove ourselves. Like, oh yeah, I can get her. I talk to that. Heal all wounds, and those are some of the things I'm talking about. Heal all wounds. You know, but people are not medicine. You got to remember that people are not medicine. Whether men or women, we are not medicine. We're just people. You can't fix your own wound. You got to fix it yourself. You got to get in touch with your good God and heal your feeling. You got to pray about it. Heal the past before jumping into a new relationship. Now, I'm gonna jump into this next verse over here. Psalm 62:5 says, Psalm 62:5 says, yes, my soul find rest in God. My hope came from him. You gotta understand, like I said before, if you're hurting, you gotta look at yourself. You gotta look at like scripture. Read your verses. Read your verses. Like he said, yes, my soul find rest in God. You gotta get on your knee, pray, ask God what's the solution for you to do. Can I get rid of this and whatever the situation? And you prayed on that, you know. And then if God is not your source when you're in pain or whatever, you may expect a partner to do what God can do, and that too much pressure for your relationship. Now you're in a relationship, you're hurting. You want her or him to fill that gap, to comfort you, do all that stuff, and still it's not gonna be enough. Only God grace is enough for that. And you expect him to do all the things that you expect to do or she to do or whatever. That relationship, that's way too much pressure on that relationship. That relationship is not gonna last longer, because she's gonna get tired of all the pressure, all the burden you putting on her, and you're gonna bring your past relationship pain into the new relationship. So you gotta let go before all that. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into segment 3 over here. Segment 3 is about emotional uh readiness. So emotionally, we're gonna talk about emotional readiness. Ask yourself, you gotta ask yourself some question. Um, Ask yourself some question about emotional readiness. Emotional readiness is can I communicate without shutting down? Like, can I communicate with my new partner? Like, if I'm ready to date now, like you say you're ready to date, like the question say, am I ready to date? Let's say you ask yourself, okay, can I talk to the new person I wanted to date without shutting down, feeling all down or whatever because it says something that I remember from my past? Can I handle argument with all disrespect? Now, don't get me wrong. We men, we got with pride and whatever. Sometimes, what if you arguing with your girl or you arguing with your man and he says something that your ex said to you before? Guess what? You feel he disrespecting you or he trying to put you on something. Let's say your ex girlfriend always like doing things in the house or outside for you, make you feel like you up here. But then the new person you take now feel like, hey, she feel like she's up here too, and you up there. She respect herself, you respect yourself. But then she put you on game, and then you get mad because she says she's not gonna do that. She's not a slave. She's not do that. And then you say, oh, she disrespected you. You know, am I still angry at someone from my past that also roll with in my disrespect? You angry with a person from the past, so that you bring that into your new relationship. Now you're mad when she says something, that remind you about the past. So you ask again, have I forgive or am I just distracted? Some people be like, oh, I forgive her. I forget the past. I forget the past, but that's a lie. You're just distracting yourself. You got to ask yourself, did I forgive them or am I just distracting myself? You got to forgive them, forget, and let it go. Leave them in their own world because I'm not saying stay in a relationship with their past or the pain or whatever the situation. You gotta let go, forget it, and let God deal with it and move on with your life, buddy. Leave that in the past and deal with your future. That's what it is. So we look at Ephesians 4:31-32. Get rid of all bitterness, rage, and anger. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you. You see the bitterness right there, and you see the anger right there. So if you forget the past, if you forget the past and you move on to your future, forget the past and move on to the future, and then you will have a peaceful and lovely, you know, relationship with a new person. Because uh unhealed pain doesn't disappear when you start dating. It show up in a relationship. Like I said before, unhealed pain does not disappear. It show up in a new relationship because now the pain is there. Because sometimes it's kind of like, okay, I see my girl talking to somebody. That's her friend. But my ex said the same thing. She was talking to another person because that's her friend. And then that's our relationship. That's how she broke my heart. That pain suffered again, and you guys are having a whole lot of argument again about that. So um we jump into segment 4 right here. Identity before relationship. You be like, what do you mean by that? Identity before relationship. So I jot down a couple of things for identity before relationship. Yes, so important. You don't find yourself in a relationship, you bring yourself into one. That's one. If you don't know who you are, you may lose yourself by trying to keep someone. That's that. You got to remember that. Let me read it again. You don't find yourself in a relationship, you bring yourself into one. You don't find yourself in one, you bring yourself into one. Second, if you don't know who you are, you may lose yourself by trying to keep someone. So think about it. And with that, it comes with this scripture right here. Galatians 1:10 remind us, if I will if I were still trying to please people, I will not be a servant of God. Don't please nobody. See the people? Those are friends. Those are people that you're trying to please. Some people, oh, homie, come up to you. Hey, man, let's go to the club, bro. Ah, man, I still with my girl. Man, I've been dating my wife for like almost 21 years now. Me and my wife been together for 21 years. Like people said I go to the club. Listen, I don't go to the club because homie tell me to go to the club. I don't go to party because homie tell me to go to party. If I want to go to a party or a club, I would ask my wife, babe, can I go over there? Can you go with me? If she said no, this is not the right place to go, I would tell my friend, hey man, I can't go tonight. Why? They ask you the reason. Hey man, why can't you go? Is your wife tell you not to go? Babe, listen, I don't want to go because I don't want to go. Oh, come on, don't be a wimp. Listen, man, you do you and I do me. You're not living my life. I don't need to tell you my wife told me not to go. I need to be a man and stand up to you, my friend or whatever, or the female got to be a female and stand up to her friend and tell her, hey, I don't want to go because I do not want to go. I don't need explanation to you. You are not my parents. You are not authority figure to me. My husband don't want to go. I don't want to go. He don't want to go over there. He feel that it's not the right place for me. Now we got other places we go out. We go out, we hang out when the time is right. We go do things with the family when the time is right, not by being a club that showed to me like, oh, I'm pleasing my friend, like your friend. Yeah, that once in a while, some other people want to go to the club. The wife want to go to the club. You want to go to the club. You guys go there, hang out, whatever. It's cool, you know. But you got to understand, you got to compromise for the person. That's where the capacity come in. You got to be able to compromise for the person. You know, if your wife feel like, oh, you hanging with these girls too much, I feel uncomfortable. You hanging with this girl. What's the problem, babe? I don't like these girls. A girl, female emotion. I see this is happening. Same as a guy. Hey, listen, babe. I don't like you hanging with these guys because I get it. You gotta understand when your partner tell you something, you gotta understand them. Don't try to argue with them, try to do this when there's something happening. Like, oh, I'm sorry, babe. I didn't know we're gonna. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You put yourself in a situation where your partner was trying to talk to you, and you didn't listen to them, you know. So that's what it is. You're trying to please other people and stuff happen to you. When your identity is rooted in God, you don't date you don't date for validation. You don't date for discriminate. I don't need people to validate my relationship. That's one thing. I know. That's why me and my wife been together for 21 years. I don't need you to validate my relationship. My friend, my sister, my brother, my pop, or whatever it is. You don't need to validate my relationship because you know why? I'm gonna be with her for the rest of my life. That's me. I make that choice. So you gotta understand that. So we're gonna jump into segment. We're gonna go to five. Segment five. Are you ready to give, not just receive? You gotta understand. Are you ready to give, not just receive? Many people ask, what can this person give me? Gotta remember, what can this girl give me? What can this guy give me? A better question is, what can I give her, or what can I give him in a relationship? Love requires patience, sacrifice, honestly, self-control. You understand? Let me repeat these four again for you. Love requires patience, sacrifice, honesty, self-control. Patient with your partner, sacrifice things, which is don't give a crap what your friend says. Sacrifice you going to club to please all these crazy people. Honestly, you gotta be honest with your spouse. Hey, I was in a past relationship. It was bad, but I let that in the past. You're my future now. We are one. We are one. One plus one. Put it together, that's one. That's my math. I don't care if you like it. That's my math. One plus one. They give it this one. You know, we got First Corinthians 13:4 and 5 says, love is patient, love is kind. It is not self-seeking. You got to remember that part. It is not self-seeking. If you are not ready to love unselfishly, you may not be ready to date seriously. You hear that? If you're not ready to love self unselfishly, you are not ready for to date seriously. You gotta remember, you gotta be unselfish. You can't be selfish and think about yourself all the time. Oh, why about me? What about me? What about me? Nah, it's not all about you. It's about us. Not me. Nah, not me. Not me. Not me. It's us. 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 So, with that, we're gonna jump into segment 6. So, God time versus pressure. Pressure from friends, pressure from family. I must say I did that sometime. I'll be honest with you. I did that sometime with my son, and I realized that was ridiculous. I shouldn't have done that. I did that with my son. That was ridiculous. Where I kind of like sometimes pressure. Hey man, when you gonna talk to this girl, talk to that girl, and he would tell me, oh, I'm not ready yet, or whatever. The pressure, is sometimes we feel rushed because everyone around us is dating. Like, those are some of the pressure or whatever it is. But I respect him. I how you all calm and say, hey, they can date what they want. I'm not in a hurry to date or whatever the situation. And that's cool. I respect him for that. Social media create a lot of delusion and stuff like that. Like you see people online, this guy, his girl, like, man, this girl's fine, she's bad, whatever. Young kids that on the internet and showing girl, you go to the school area, see kids holding hands or whatever. At the end of the day, you see a lot of young girls in their 20s, they got kids, two, three kids. Where's their dad? The dad's nowhere around, you know. So you got to be patient on that dating and stuff like that. Family or culture apply pressure also too. Like I say, I was on my son earlier. I made a mistake. I was on my son earlier before about dating, and it created pressure on him. But I realized that now that I stopped it, I let him do his own thing. Yeah, he's 19. I let him do his own thing. He's ready to date. He was date. They get girls following after him, but I thought he got to be ready. If he's not ready, you force him through it. It lead to exactly what I'm trying to avoid, which is young girl around here having a baby and going into another relationship all bitter and mad because their previous relationship they didn't have they wasn't compatible to be together and whatever, and then they jump into a new relationship to bring the pain and suffering into that new relationship. So I let him find his own, you know, girl or whatever a time to date, you know. So we have God is never late. If you wait, whatever God get for you, you gotta remember this. Whatever God get for you, He's never late. He's always on time. God time is the best time. Your time may be like, oh, I'm ready right now, but God's not ready for that. You let Him deal with it. We have Ecclesiastes 3:11 say, He hath made everything beautiful in a time. You know, His time is the best time. God time is the best time. You know, we gotta understand God time is the best time. You know, we gotta wait for Him. Waiting is not a punishment. Waiting is a preparation. You gotta God preparing you. Just because you're waiting is not a punishment. He preparing you for the right person that He have for you. Don't rush into anything. That's why you have a lot of single baby mama or whatever. Here, the reason why guys on child support single baby mama because we rush into those, and the right person God have for all came our way, but they saw the big old brick wall in front of them, and that brick wall is you having two, three kids and expecting the guy that God brought for you to take that responsibility of somebody else. Now you wonder why you can't find a man. Why God's not blessing you? Because God wanted you to wait, but you couldn't wait. You fall under the pressure or under the influence of people out there, and a lot of crazy things out there. You fall under the pressure, your temptation. Instead of waiting, you jump into a relationship that God wasn't. It wasn't meant for you. Now you end up ruining stuff for yourself. You know, and then you want to blame. Oh, God didn't give me this one, this one, it is. That's not how it is. God will prepare you, but you wasn't patient enough. You thought he was punishing you, and you wasn't patient enough, so you jump into something that you didn't, you wasn't for you, you know. And so our further thing, we're gonna jump into segment 7. Segment 7 is self-check movement. So we gotta look at self-check. Ask yourself these questions honestly. Self-check. So let's ask ourselves these questions honestly. Am I content alone? And you okay being alone? Am I growing spiritually? Are you growing spiritually? Do I have space, not pressure, about dating? Or do I have peace, not pressure, about dating? Space, you want to give yourself space. I mean, you don't want, you like, I don't want, I want to date, but I don't want to date. I want to, you guessing yourself. But peace, am I okay where I am right now? Not pressure. Hey, you got to do that. You got to do that, or whatever the situation, you know. And we look at it. We look at this verse right here. Colossians 3:15 says, "Let the peace of Christ rule in your heart." See the God, Christ over him, you're holding his hand, got a peace in his heart. That's a pretty good picture right there. I like that picture. You know, so like peace is often God green light. You're peaceful, bro. You're relaxed. I waited. Yeah, like I said, I jump into some stuff I wasn't ready for, but I jump right back out. It's kind of like you can't swim, for example. You jump in the water, you realize we're too deep, but you didn't jump too far. Your hands are on the handrail. You jump right back out. Or you jump in the water and you realize we're way too cold. So you jump back right out. You be like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. It's not warm enough. Oh, heck no, I'm jumping up. Now I don't swim, so I don't jump in no deep end. So, until I learn how to swim before I jump in the deep end. That's a preparation right there. I want to learn how to swim first before I jump into deep end. I'm not gonna jump into the deep 8 feet or 6 feet. And I know I'm 5'8", I can't swim and I got drown myself. I ain't doing that. No, no, you can miss me with that. You can call me all you want to call me. I really don't care. So you got to think about that preparation and stuff. It's not a punishment. You got to remember that it's not a punishment. It's a blessing. And also you got to let the peace of God rules in your heart. Peace is often God green light. So you got to listen to God green light. So we're all in the thing. We're gonna leave this with a closing prayer. You know, I try to leave it with a closing prayer. Let's give it a little small prayer. Say, God help me not rush love. Heal what needs healing. Strengthen what needs growth. Give me wisdom, patience. Prepare me and prepare my heart in Jesus' name. So, guys, thank you for listening to the Generation Connection. Remember, dating should add to your life, not replace your peace. If this episode helped you, share this with someone who's seeking the same question. Until next time, stay grounded, stay patient, and stay connected. I'm your host, Sumo Q Dennis, and this is Generation Connection. See you later, guys.